Hey guys, what's up? Steven here, game developer at Pearl Lemon Games, and we're back to another Roblox tutorial. And if you're curious to know more about us, you can visit us at pearllemongames.com. You can chat with us there. We can help develop a game for you. And you can also see the games that we have created there. You can go to the link to play it, and you can also check that out in the description down below. So let's move on to the video. So there are two ways to weld parts in Roblox Studio. We're gonna do the first one, which is inserting a weld constraint. But in order to do that, of course, we need a part that we need to be welded. So let's just create a part. Let's speed this one up a bit. Alright, so as you can see, since it's not welded, it just dropped off, and we're not going to anchor it. What we're going to anchor is just the base part. We're not going to anchor the one on top, so we can see if it's successfully welded to the base part or not. So let's just change the color of this other part so we can distinguish each other, and maybe change the name too. So let's make this green. Let's put it a bit higher. And yeah, so this is just for testing purposes, and welding stuff are useful for it's mostly used in pets and other stuff that you don't want to anchor and you're gonna put a script afterwards. So yeah. So the first one is adding a weld constraint. So let's just change the name of the part so we can distinguish, and then go to the add the weld constraint by using the plus on the base part. Remember that it's always the base part that you have to input the weld constraint. Then click on the properties of the weld constraint and click on part 0. And part 0 is always the base part in where you want to have the other parts connected to each other. So let's say you have two hands and one body. What you want is the hands to be connected to the body, so your base part will be the body, and the part 0 is the body, and part 1 would be the hands. So that's just how it is. So let's add one more part and just have it on a different name and have two parts be distinguished. And yeah, so we have two weld constraint because we have two parts, and the other part is still connected to the base part. And let's do a playtest, and boom, it's not going down even though it's not anchored. Let's double check if it's anchored or not. See, it's not anchored, but it's welded, so it's not going down because it's stuck on the base part. It's welded on the base part. So that's how you do the first one, and let's go over to the second one on how you can do the other welding. So let's keep this as it is and just delete our weld constraint. And then what we need to do is from home, go to your model, and you'll see a constraints. This is the one we entered a while ago, and this just manual. So click on that, create, and choose weld. So this time, this is where the first click would be the part where you enter the weld's constraint. It's kind of like the plus sign, but you'll be using your mouse freely. So the first click will always be the base part, which should be the one we want the other parts to be connected. So by clicking it, you'll be assigning it a weld constraint, and you have to hold that click and drag it over to the next part. So if you don't drag it, you won't be able to weld the parts just like that. So you have to first click in the base part and then go over to the part that you want. That would be automatic. You don't have to edit the weld constraint like what we did on the first initial phase. So this is where you do have manually or visually. Basically, it's how you do it. If it's much more easier on this case if you're seeing your model, but if you have some hidden parts, the best option is the initial one. But if you just want it simple, or you just have a simple model, it's best to use this one, so you don't have to insert and then click on part 0, then click on part 1. So yeah, it's much more easier to click and drag to the part that you want to be welded on that area. So I hope you learned something on this video, and if you do, press that like button, and if you have any questions or comment, put that down below, and please do subscribe to our channel. We upload daily, and we do Roblox tutorials, we do Unity tutorials. Get that notification icon so you can be notified on our uploads, and yeah, catch you on another video. Bye bye.